Father God, we come thanking you for another day, God. Thanking you for another opportunity for the activity in our limbs, God. Thank you to be in our right mind this morning, God, to uplift and magnify the name of yours, Lord. Now we thank you for one more time to usher in your presence, God, to come into the house of God one more time, to give your name the glory, to reverence who you are in this place, God. Now we ask you to fall fresh, God. Have your way, God. Speak to our hearts, God. Send a word from Most High. Now I ask you that I be removed, that you may have your way in this place, God. Send a word that lives may be changed, hearts may be mended, someone may come crying. What must I do to be saved? And we forever give your name the glory, the honor, and all of the praise. It is in Jesus' mighty name that we pray and say amen.
Amen.
Amen. And amen. Good morning, fruit of the Spirit. I thank God one more time for our opportunity to be in the house of God. First, give it honor to God. Pastor Clayton, who is the shepherd of this house. Mother Clayton, Deacon, Mother, and all my brothers and sisters in Christ. I count it again, and I count it again a privilege to be in the house of God and to be in your presence one more time. If you would, go with me to 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel, the 17th chapter. We're going to get right into it and what the Lord is doing in this place. 1 Samuel, that 17th chapter, we're going down to that 32nd verse. If you would, say amen when you have it. And I'll continue. If not, if we're waiting, say wait a minute and give me more time. 17th chapter, the 32nd verse. And if you go with me, you'll find this intelligence in the word of God. And David said to Saul, let no man's heart fall because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with the Philistine. And Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against the Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth. And he is a man of war from his youth. And David said to Saul, thy servant has kept thy father's sheep. And there came a lion and a bear and took a lamb out of the flock. Come on with it now. And I went after him and smote him and delivered him out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard and smote and slew him. Thy servant has slew both the lion and the bear. And this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he has defiled the armies of the living God. David said, moreover, the Lord delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear. He will definitely deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. And Saul said to David, go, and the Lord be with thee. And on to that 48th verse, if you would, 48th verse, and we'll wrap it up. And it came to pass when the Philistine arose and came and drew near to meet David, David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. And David put his hand in his bag and took a stone and slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk into his forehead and fell upon his face to the earth. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him, but there was no sword in the hand of David. May the Lord have a blessing to the readers, hearers, and doers of this holy word. You may be seated. Amen. Pastor, if I could talk to you this morning, a lot of topics had hit my mind when I read this scripture. First thing that God gave me was building on a solid foundation. But I said, well, maybe no, that's not where it is. Then he gave me, well, where is your faith? Well, like that, and then I began to continue to research the story of David. Then God gave me the courage to believe. So I said, what are you saying? The Lord even gave me 3 different topics. Well, what is it that you want to say? And the Lord said simply as this, preach the word. Preach the word. So I just want to tell you, I didn't come with a hippie topic. I just want to tell you about the story of David and Goliath. Is that all right? Is that okay? Of David and Goliath. And as we research and understand this story, there are a lot of different principles and ideas that you can take out of the story of how David overcame his Goliath. And if you would go with me this morning, I just want you to put on your spiritual eyes.
Amen.
Whatever this story may reveal to you or tell to you, whatever it is that you got to get out of it, I ask that you don't miss what God is saying to you. Because there are a lot of different things that you can take out of the story of David. But my three main principles that I want to talk about today is the strength, the faith, and the courage that David exemplified in meeting his Goliath.
Amen.
Is that all right, church?
Amen.
The strength and the courage that David had meeting his Goliath.
Yeah.
As we begin to research and understand what was happening here, the battle of the Philistines and the Israelites, the same people that we were talking about that came out of captivity this morning, over 400 years. And God, as I was sitting there listening to Sunday school, God brought back to my remembrance the reason they were in slavery for 400 years, Pastor, is it kept going from generation to generation.
Yeah.
We never broke a mindset change.
Yeah.
We never told them that there was another way. We never told them that you can do something in a different perspective. So they kept on in what we call it today, traditional ways.
That's right.
Traditional ways of what we're trying to do and what they were trying to accomplish. And God was telling them that it will not work.
Yeah.
So we had to bring about a new mindset change. And so what they had failed to do was come out of traditional ways.
Yeah.
So here we are. They have a king, which is Saul. And Saul has just been rejected. If you would look back into the previous chapter of 16, he was just rejected by God because he defied what God told him not to go and do.
That's right.
So God now had rejected who the Israelites had called their king. And Samuel, who was a prophet to the nation, had just came and anointed David as their next king in the previous chapter.
Right.
Well, now how can that be? Because we find ourselves that understanding God will reject leadership.
That's right.
Incorrect leadership. Let me say it like that. God will correct or reject an incorrect leadership.
Yeah.
So as we move forward in this story, we see David, really what the theologians call today, is preaching his first sermon, really.
Yeah.
And so after he got anointed, we move to a story in the 17th chapter where his king Saul, who was rejected, is still out trying to do a battle. Is still out trying to be king after God has rejected him. You got to ask the question, can you be anointed and still preach?
Come on, preacher.
God is, from my understanding from a lot of preachers, God is the only one who will fire you and let you continue to work.
Amen.
Let you continue to work. So Saul was still doing his kingly duties on a regular, going through tradition, going through his routine as what he usually did. But he was rejected. And so we come into the 17th chapter where you find out that God had moved his presence from the king and placed it on David as Samuel had anointed him in the previous chapter. So now that David had been anointed, we find ourselves in a battle. Have you ever found yourself looking at something that may be greater than you?
Yeah. Come on with it now.
Something bigger than you, and you have finding and asking yourself, God, how am I going to get myself out of this?
Yeah. Come on with it now.
And that's why prayer is so vital in our lives, because as young lad David was out there taking care of the sheep of his father Jesse, God was already raising him up to be a man of valor.
Yeah.
And so as we go and dig into this story, we find out that David gave him his list of qualifications and saying, you must don't know who you're messing with.
Yeah.
I done killed a lion and killed the bear, and you need to tell me you don't know who my God is. I'm going to go take down what you think is great, but I serve a greater God.
Yeah.
So we find ourselves at this story where David is trying to present himself to the king and to help them understand that he is ready for battle.
Yeah.
So if you would go with me, I'm going to go into the interpretation of the Message Bible, back up into the 4th verse. A great giant nearly fell. A giant nearly 10 feet tall stepped out of the Philistine line in the open, which was called Goliath from Gath.
Yeah.
Let's say he was Pastor Clayton from Midlothian.
Yeah.
We said we're using our spiritual eyes this morning, amen. So he had a bronze helmet on his head. He was dressed in armor. You got to be ready for battle if you're going to war.
Yeah. Come on, preacher.
This is what it teaches us. 126 pounds of metal, of armor. He wore bronze shin guards and a cattle bronze sword. His spear was like a fence rail. The spear tipped along weighed over 15 pounds. His shield bearer walked ahead of him. Goliath stood there and called out to the Israelite troops, why bother using your whole army? Am I not Philistine enough for you? So what you go in and seeing in this sort of chapter is the Goliath is talking to the Israelite army and saying, Why bring the whole flock with you? Why bring your members, Pastor?
Yeah.
Can you not handle this battle by yourself?
Yeah.
That's what we were doing. He was now talking what we call nowadays noise.
Yeah.
Have you ever had him telling everybody, come and step in my square?
Yeah.
That's what he was doing, Pastor. He was
Yeah.
telling the Israelites, am I not Philistine enough for you?
Preach.
Can you not do it by yourself?
Preach.
So what he was doing was telling them, come on, step in my square deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what was happening, that's what was happening here. He said, am I not Philistine enough for you?
Yeah.
Now, are you all committed to Saul, aren't you? So pick your best fighter and pick and pit with him against me.
Yeah.
So what he was doing, now then saying, Pastor, as I said, we were using our spiritual eyes.
Yeah.
He was telling the pastor, could you not choose one of your own members?
Yeah.
If you could do it, could not one of your own members do it?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So this is why we're using our spiritual eyes to see what was happening in the story of David and Goliath. So Goliath stood there challenging the Israelites as they got ready to prepare for war. But have you ever seen to step back and imagine yourself? Have you ever had to look up to anybody? You went into a restaurant and somebody was taking your order and you said, wow, you are tall.
My God. My God.
That's where we was at, Pastor.
Yeah.
He was realizing that he was in something greater than him.
Yeah.
It's like God gave me this instance. I don't know if you ever had to do this back in their days. Your children may have gotten in trouble playing outside down the street and they came and told your mama, daddy, that little boy hit me, or that parent did this to me.
Yeah.
And so you as a parent got on defense mode and said, well, I'm going down here to see what it's all about.
Yeah.
And you got down there and it was something that you never imagined.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody way taller than you, imagine 6'4", 230 pounds, Pastor.
Yeah.
You went 5'1", 150 pounds, but you trying to go defend your child.
Yeah.
That's what we was at.
Yeah.
That's what was happening with
That's
this
good.
story. They were
That's
taking
good.
on a challenge greater than
analogy.
them.
Yeah.
And the reason they were even in battle, Deacon, is because God had gave them a promise for that land.
That's right.
And if you got the land, you have income, you have resources, you have a little bit more than what you can do with it if you had more land and more opportunity. And so that's where we was at. If he gets the upper hand and kills me, as we continue on in this story, the Philistines will above become your slaves. But if I get the upper hand and kill him, you all will become my slaves and serve us.
Yeah.
I challenge the troops of Israel this day, give me a man. Let us fight it out with him together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let us fight it out with him together. So we was like we were saying, Pastor, he was telling them to step into my square.
That's it. That's
Step
it.
into my ground. Are you not bold enough to face this little old me?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But did he not realize that he was a giant himself?
Yes. Yes.
So if I had the mentality that he would, I probably would have been doing the same thing. Have you ever had to talk and challenge somebody that was a little scrawnier than you and said, come on, I can do this. I got you. Ever found yourself talking noise?
Yeah. Yeah.
Talking noise.
Yeah.
Talking noise was what they called it back then. So that's what we were doing. The Philistines had a man that they were proud of, that they can go and say, go and fight that battle for them, and they can go and back up. And so he was greater than what this army had presented themselves to be. So when Saul and his troops had heard the Philistines' challenge, they were terrified and lost all hope.
Yes. Yes.
Lost all hope. There ain't enough members in the congregation, Pastor.
Amen.
We don't see enough people joining.
Come on, preach. Yeah. Come on, preach.
We don't see what you saying.
Yeah.
Amen.
They found themselves at a loss of hope.
Yeah.
Because we've been at it 5 years and it seems like we at a stagnant, but they don't understand that there's greater ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's greater ahead. That's where we was at. And enter David, as we begin to talk about this story. David entered, the son of Jesse. Jesse had begun to tell his son to go down there and check on your brothers, David. For he had sent 3 of his elder sons down in a fight in the army of the Philistines with the Israelites.
That's right.
And so Jesse, their fathers had begun worried because they had been in battle longer than expected.
That's right.
In battle longer than expected. So he found himself being what we call today a worried parent, Pastor.
Yes.
A worried parent about his children. And so here we have David that entering into the story, what we call back then, what his first sermon. He was anointed in 16th chapter. And he went back to go and to tend to the flock of his father. After Samuel had anointed him and said he would be the next king, he went back into what we call traditional ways.
Yes.
Doing what his regular duties was, and taking care of the flock, and doing what his father had needed him to do. But then his father gave him another task. Like we said, he was worried about his 3 children, and he said, Jesse, The father of his 8 sons was himself too old to join Saul's army. Jesse's 3 oldest sons had followed Saul to war.
Yes, yes.
The name of the 3 sons who had joined Saul were Eliab, the firstborn, Abadiah the second, and Shemaiah the third.
Amen.
David was the youngest son in all of the 8.
Yeah, yeah.
While the 3 older brothers went to war with Saul, David went back and forth from attending to Saul to attending to his father's sheep.
Yeah, right.
Each morning and evening for 40 days, Goliath took his stand and made his speech. So this is why we were saying that Jesse had sent his son, as Goliath, as you see, has taunted the army of the Israelites for 40 days and 40 nights.
Yes, yes.
The same testing Jesus went through after he was anointed and baptized by
Go
Jesus.
ahead. Come on,
The Israelites had now gone through 40 days, of stepping in my square.
Wow.
Come on, you ain't got nothing.
Go ahead.
40 days of talking trash. 40 days of saying you ain't about nothing. 40 days of down talk and neglect.
Yeah.
My God. Nowadays we would have went into depression. 40 days of somebody taunting you, Pastor, telling you what you can't do, who you are not, and what you ain't gonna do.
My God.
40 days of it.
Yeah.
And so that's where we at the time of this story. Jesse had told his son David, go down there and check on my children and see what's going on. He had become, like we said, a worried parent.
Yeah.
A worried parent in this story. And so when David got down there, he found Goliath hunting the armies of the Israelites.
Yeah. Man.
And as we continue on in this story, Jesse told his son, take this sack of cracked wheat and these 10 loaves of bread and run down to your brothers in the camp and these 10 wedges of cheese to the captain of the division and check on your brothers to see whether they are getting along all right.
Yeah. Amen.
Getting along all right. So we said he had became a worried parent and sent his young lad David down there to check on his brothers who were grown men fighting in the army, sentenced to death, Pastor.
Yeah, yeah.
Back then, when you fought in the army, it was either life or death.
Yeah,
for God I live and for God I die is what we call it today.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So we had reached where he had become a worried parent and sent his son David down there to check on his 3 oldest sons.
Well,
Saul and his brothers and all the Israelites were in war with the Philistines in the Oak Valley. David was at the crack of dawn. David was up at the crack of dawn and having arranged someone to attend to his flock, took the food and was on his way just as Jesse had directed him.
Yes, yes.
He had arrived at camp just as the army was moving into battle, shouting the war cry, positioning and facing each other battle ready. He had found them, as we said, Pastor, ready for war. Ready for war. But remember, as we were going through this story, Pastor, they were already ready. They were just being taunted for 40 days and 40 nights.
Yeah.
Every day they got ready for battle. Every day they put on their full armor. Every day they put on their helmet. Every day Goliath got up and said, are you not ready yet?
Yeah.
40 days of fasting and praying, seeking the Lord.
Yeah.
Are you not ready yet?
My God. Man.
40 days.
My God.
40 days. And David left his bundles of food in the care of a sentry, ran to the troops who had deployed and greeted his brothers. Now David was at the camp. He had finally reached his brethren and found his brothers talking together with the Philistines champion. Found his brothers talking together about the Philistine champion Goliath. He stepped out from the front of the lines and gave his usual challenge as he did every day. David had witnessed a challenge that he never knew was taking place as his father